Hey guys, Mr. Stumbaugh. It's 2015. We didn't do this video last year. 6-3 was where we stopped. But we're going to try and finish off these videos this year. That way they are just ready and available for you the rest of the way. Okay. Let me go back a slide. 6-4, solving systems of equations by elimination using multiplication. If you are clueless about 6-3, this is going to be difficult. Okay, so go back and watch the 6-3 video. Come find us for help. Do whatever you need to do to get 6-3 somewhat mastered. Because all we're doing in 6-4 is one or two different things real quick. Then it's back to everything we did in 6-3. So let me show you here. Coming up. Okay. Quick 6-3 review. Our goal is to get x equals or y equals. Doesn't matter which one, but to do that, we're going to have to cancel or eliminate one of these because we got to start by getting our first variable. Once we can do that, we'll plug it back in. Okay, so 6-3 review. Here we go. 5x minus y is 7. 7x minus y is 11. Okay, we would normally be ready to add these together except for my y's that are really similar have the same sign. So step one is to change the sign of everything on the bottom. Once you do that, you can start adding stuff together. Those will cancel. 5 minus 7 is -2. 7 minus 11, come on now, -4. Okay? From there, we solve. -2x equals 4. Divide both sides by -2. X equals 2. Once we have x, we're going to plug it back into either one of these equations. I'm going to choose the top equation. Oops, I forgot the -4 there. I'm going to choose the top equation. Just move it down here a little bit. And now that I know x is 2, I'm going to plug that in right here. I'm no longer going to write x. I'm going to replace it with the 2. So I have 5 times 2 minus y equals 7. This is an equation we can solve. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 minus y is 7. Okay. From here, if you can do mental math and tell me 10 minus something is 7, and you can tell me that something is 3, then go for it. Those of you who want to do it the long way, totally okay too. Subtract 10 from both sides. Make sure you bring down that minus sign because -y is -3, y is +3. Okay. Once you do that, and I forgot to write it, I need my point, 2, 3 in parentheses, which I'll get to on the next slide if it will take me to the next slide. There we go. Okay. In 6-4, these are the equations we're going to be working with. Stuff like this. Okay. We don't have anything that matches. We don't have anything where we can just change the signs. This is what we got to do. Multiply at least one equation by a number that will get you a variable that will cancel that variable in the other equation. Okay. We're not always going to cancel y. We're not always going to cancel x. Doesn't work that way. We're going to try and find which way is easiest. Okay. 2 does not go into 5. 5 doesn't go into 2. That's probably not one we're looking at. 3 goes into 6 pretty easily twice. Okay, so if we multiply that by 2, we'd get 6y and 6y. So to get opposites, let's just use a -2 because -2 times 3 will get us a -6. And now we have 5x, 6y, and -4x, and -6y. The y's will now cancel. It's not always going to work out that way, but in this case, the y's will cancel first. Bring this down. Here's my two equations. You can see 6 and -6. When I start adding these together, it's going to cancel out real nice and neat. -4x plus 5, that's +1. I didn't write the 1 because I want x by itself. 10 minus 8 is 2. X equals 2. Do not stop here. This is not where it ends. We have to take this and plug it back in just like we did in 6-3. Okay? So I'm going to rewrite that equation 5x plus 6y equals -8, except instead of x, I'm writing what x equals. So instead of 5x, it's 5 times 2. 5 times 2 becomes 10. Everything else gets brought down. 10 plus 6y is -8. Subtract 10 from both sides. bring down the 6y. 6y equals negative 18. So from here, if you divide both sides by 6, y is negative 3. This is also not where you stop. Whoops, that is not the button I wanted to press. I need my coordinate, xy coordinate, 2 comma negative 3. So from here down, it's all 6-3. The only thing we're learning new in 6-4 is that we're going to have to manipulate one of these to match to where we can do some elimination. Okay. Another example here. Do I want to use this example? Yes, I do. Let me split these up a little bit. Okay, so we have 3x minus 2y equals negative 7, and 2x minus 5y equals 10. 2 doesn't go into 3, 3 doesn't go into 2, 2 doesn't go into 5, 5 doesn't go into 2, and these numbers we're not trying to mess with. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Okay, I want to use one of my variables and eliminate them. Okay, in this case, I'll eliminate my x values just because 3 and 2 are a little bit easier numbers than 2 and 5. We'll keep them as small as we can. So I'm going to take this 3, and I'm going to multiply the whole bottom by that 3. And then I'm going to take this 2, multiply the whole top by that 2. When that happens, all the way across, when that happens, I can rewrite both of these equations after I multiply. Let me spread them out a little bit more. Where'd it go? Sorry about this. 6x minus 4y equals what would be negative 14. I don't know where it is. Maybe it'll pop up here in a second. And then on the bottom one, 6x minus 15y. Where is it? Where'd it go? I just wrote it. You gonna show up? You're not gonna show up. Where'd you go? Come on now. All right. I have to rewrite this here in a second. But I'm going to take these two, I'm going to use this 3 across here, and use this 2 across here. Let me rewrite this real quick. I don't know where it went. Okay, there you go. 6x minus 4y equals negative 14. 6x minus 15y equals 30. So now that I have my two equations, come on equation, you going to move? Yeah. I have these two equations. My 6's almost match. Last thing I got to do, change the signs of one of them. I'm just going to change the signs at the bottom, make it nice and easy. That's a plus. Now that we're there, we are ready to add them together. In this case, my x's will cancel out. I'm going to start by solving for y first. All right, so negative 15 plus 4 is negative 11, and 30 and 14 is 44. So negative 11y equals 44. Dividing both sides by 11, I have y equals. Now I'm not done, not even close. But what we do have now is some freedom to choose any of these 4 equations, whether it's the 2 originals or the 2 that we manipulated. We can plug y back in and figure it out. I'm just going to take this top equation, make it nice and simple, and solve for my remaining variable. And here's the rest. Okay, 3x minus 2y equals negative 7, except I know y is negative 4. I'm going to plug it in. Okay, negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8, so 3x plus 8 is negative 7. Two-step equation, subtract 8 from both sides, divide both sides by 3, and I get my x equals. So x is negative 5, y is negative 4. You have to put them in point order, which is alphabetical. So whether they use A and B, X and Y, M and N, however they put it, alphabetical order. Otherwise, if you switch it and give me negative 4, negative 5, it's going to be a wrong answer. It's a different point on the grid. It's going to be a wrong answer. Okay? So that's really about it. If this is somewhat difficult, go back, watch 6-3, master 6-3, then come back and watch this again. It may make a little more sense. But that's really all we added in 6-4.